Hey, I'm here at the XO Marriage Conference building, and I'm just here to get an early front row seat for the Naked Marriage podcast. Actually, I'm in South Lake, Texas, near Dallas-Fort Worth, and I saw this XO building. XO is an amazing ministry for marriage that Jimmy Evans runs. And there's a really cool podcast called the Naked Marriage Podcast. Dave and Ashley Willis, I think is their last name. And it's a frank, honest, very uplifting and resourceful podcast about marriage and whatnot. And I was driving by here and thought I'd stop in and take some videos. So I'm going to talk about love, sex, dating, and marriage. So it was fun stopping by XO Marriage, their building, their ministry building that I didn't know it was already built and ready to go, but it sure looks like it's happening now. I'm here at up in Dallas. I'm working on the lustcontrol.com website, adding lyrics. Haven't had lyrics on our website in decades, so working on that. And Lust Control, is a unique band that kind of tailored our lyrics after the first lyrics came out. It kind of made sense to keep going in that direction to address sexuality from a biblical viewpoint, because the world we live in is sexually drunk, and it could use some clarity and some light and some truth. And so that's what we've done. And that's really what I like about the XO Marriage Ministry. And so this podcast, I really just want to share a resource that I've found that I think is brilliant. Jimmy Evans is vulnerable and transparent about his own marriage, about the time that he basically was he was done with his marriage, and he was all into golfing and stuff, and his wife was just heartbroken. And anyway, God really kind of dealt with him and told him what he thought about marriage. And Jimmy turned around and repented, apologized to his wife, and really preaches a biblically consistent message about marriage. Talks a lot about how people come into marriage with expectations, kind of looking for that one person, that soulmate. And he kind of teaches that, soulmates are made. Marriage takes work. And two people that are opposite or have differences, those differences can mesh. Like Rocky Balboa said, "Yo, I've got gaps. Adrian, she got gaps. When we come together, no gaps." And that's kind of like the complementary thing that God does with marriage, and just a good, healthy marriage, period. Two people appreciate the differences, come together, and meet each other's needs. Dave and Ashley Willis are, I think, on staff with XO Marriage. They go to all the conferences and talk. They have a podcast called the Naked Marriage Podcast, where they talk frankly, kind of like Lust Control did, but it's more, I wouldn't say it's more tame, because they deal with the subjects that Lust Control dealt with, like masturbation and porn and fantasy and lust, and then a little bit of the nitty-gritties about sex. And they teach about the importance and sacredness of sex, and how it's a gift from God. It's not just for procreation. It's not a nasty thing. And so XO Marriage, if you're engaged or wanting to be married or married, good marriage, bad marriage, average marriage, check it out. You'll find resources that will help equip you. And it's just, sometimes you find like-minded people in the church, in the body of Christ, in various places, and you just want to celebrate, the ongoing fire that's lit in different locations. And this is just one of those things, one of those ministries. And people I know, obviously nobody's perfect, but they love the perfect one, Jesus, and preach and teach and seem to walk a dependence upon him, which is a great thing. As Paul the Apostle said, "Follow me as I follow Christ." So when you find somebody who's walking the walk, walking the talk, pay attention. Anyway, join the discussion. What do you want to talk about? Sex? How could you talk about that?